Welcome back to Ngong TV and our brand new series, Must Read Stories.
Jiangzhe and Changxi enter the bedroom, finding Kwangmin flustered after she had kissed Tan Fong. Jiangzhe, the orthopedic doctor, examines her swollen ankle and confirms a simple sprain, advising cold compresses, pain spray, and 3 to 5 days of rest, a prognosis that finally calms Tan Fong. While receiving care, Kwangmin notes Changxi's overly concerned demeanor and her wearing Jiangzhe's vest. She asks why Changxi was with him, and Tan Fong, amused by her complete obliviousness, points out the ambiguous relationship between the two friends, confirming Kwangmin's extreme lack of sensitivity in matters of the heart. Before they go to sleep, Tan Fong proposes they enhance their marital affection by having Kwangmin hug him instead of her stuffed rabbit while she sleeps. She agrees, and he holds her tightly, later kissing her forehead when he believes she has fallen asleep. The next morning, Tan Fong's new phase of cultivation begins. He carries Kwangmin everywhere, to the bathroom and downstairs for breakfast, refusing to let her put any weight on her sprained foot. When Changxi and Jiangzhe arrive at Kwangmin's workspace, they witness an intense, private moment. Tan Fong, leaning over Kwangmin in her chair, having just kissed her eyelids, is looking at her with piercing intensity and stating, "I love you." Kwangmin, embarrassed, urges him to go to work, but Tan Fong reveals his true plan: "I'm working from home this week so I can take better care of you." At that moment, Jiangzhe quickly pulls Changxi away from the doorway just as they are about to interrupt the couple. Kwangmin is mortified to see Jiangzhe and Changxi standing at the doorway, having witnessed her kiss with Tan Fong. After Tan Fong excuses himself, Changxi rushes in, highly curious. Kwangmin tries to explain that Tan Fong's declaration of love was not genuine, but merely a method to enhance their marital affection, a rule he established the night before. Changxi remains skeptical, pointing out that Tan Fong also kissed her, and Kwangmin herself kissed him back on the cheek. Changxi pushes her, kissing his liking. She concludes that Kwangmin must have some positive feelings for Tan Fong, even if not full-blown love, a point Kwangmin cannot definitively deny. Meanwhile, downstairs, Tan Fong and Jiangzhe converse. Jiangzhe criticizes Tan Fong's simple confession, but Tan Fong explains his strategy. He told Kwangmin that "I love you" was just a relationship-building exercise because he fears scaring her off if she knew he had loved her for 3 years. He says he will only confess his true feelings when she clearly likes him first. After the friends leave, Kwangmin gets back to work on her graduation jewelry pieces. Tan Fong spends the morning alternating between working in his study and slipping over to the doorway to watch her work, finding her focused demeanor captivating. Around noon, he carries her downstairs for lunch, noting that she still hasn't gotten used to being carried everywhere. He is so attentive that he not only seats her but also feeds her the first bite of food. His assistant, Bai, arrives with documents and witnesses this overly doting scene, internally concluding that his boss isn't raising a wife, but a daughter. Tan Fong dismisses Bai, announcing he will be working from home all week. On Thursday evening, Tan Fong surprises Kwangmin with a large bouquet of roses and a jewelry box containing a sapphire necklace and bracelet, a gift for their 1-month wedding anniversary. When Kwangmin realizes she didn't prepare a gift, Tan Fong offers 2 alternatives: call him husband, Chong, or kiss him. Kwangmin chooses the kiss, but when she attempts to kiss his cheek, Tan Fong strategically turns his head, making her kiss him directly on the lips. He then whispers a sincere, "Happy 1-month anniversary, my wife, I love you." Kwangmin, however, simply files the latest "I love you" away as another method of relationship building. Later that Friday, Kwangmin, convinced her foot is fine, slips away from her workspace when Tan Fong is momentarily gone. She notices he has moved the photo of her in the cherry blossom garden from their bedroom to his study desk. Unbeknownst to her, Tan Fong is upstairs on the third floor, in the only room on that level. He stands before an easel, painting a portrait of Kwang Min working at her bench, a small red dot marking the mole on her nose. For 3 years, every painting he has signed with his initial, F, has been of her. If Kwang Min were to open that room, she would find it filled with oil paintings, all of her. On Saturday morning, Kwang Min and Tan Fong continued their wedding photo shoot. Throughout the session, whenever the photographer called a break, Tan Fong would immediately scoop Kwang Min up in a princess carry to ensure she didn't tire her recently sprained ankle while walking in high heels. The photographer, noting their ease, commented that the couple's affection was growing, unlike the first session. He later told his assistant that Tan Fong's calm demeanor in the beginning was merely a pretense, as any man feels awkward when stared at by the woman he secretly loves. At lunchtime, Tan Fong insisted on carrying Kwang Min to the car. He then knelt beside the car door and surprised her by carefully replacing her high heels with a pair of exquisite, comfortable designer flats adorned with diamonds and pearls. When Kwang Min questioned when he prepared them, he casually admitted he had personally selected all her clothes, shoes, and jewelry since the wedding, sighing that she never wore them. As he secured the pearl ankle strap, Kwang Min looked down at him. In the intense midday sun, she was struck by how his blue tie and accessories perfectly matched her dress. The photographer, witnessing this non-staged, loving moment, the man kneeling to serve the woman who looked at him with an undeniable warmth, immediately captured the shot. Over lunch, Tan Fong suggested they visit her family home, the Jiangs, anytime she wished. Kwang Min, missing her family, agreed to go that evening for dinner. However, halfway through the meal, a sudden severe storm broke out. Her grandfather and aunt insisted they stay the night, a request Kwang Min readily agreed to. Later, while Tan Fong talked cars with her cousin, Ji Zhen, aunt questioned Kwang Min privately about their marriage. Ji Zhen was surprised to learn that a month into the marriage, they had not yet been intimate, despite sleeping in the same bed. Ji Zhen worried that something might be wrong with Tan Fong. That night, after Tan Fong had spent a long time in the bathroom to calm himself, Kwang Min was already asleep. He joined her in the pink princess bed. In the middle of the night, a loud clap of thunder and lightning woke Kwang Min. She lay in a panic, terrified of the storm. Just as another flash of lightning illuminated the room, a hand gently covered her left ear. Her right ear was already covered by the pillow. Tan Fong's deep, slightly husky voice whispered through the thunder, "Are you afraid of thunder?" Kwang Min, suddenly overwhelmed by the first person ever to comfort her during a storm, buried her face into his chest and replied in a choked voice, "I hate thunder." Tan Fong simply tightened his embrace and whispered, "I hate it too." He joined her in her dislike, hoping it would bring her a measure of comfort. Kwang Min falls back asleep in Tan Fong's arms, who keeps his hand over her ear until the thunder stops completely. In her sleep, she is drawn into a recurring series of fragmented memories and dreams: a terrifying storm at age 6, the night her mother died at age 13, and the sensation of drowning. In each scenario, an unseen figure intercepts the trauma. At age 6, the person turns her away and covers her ears, making her smell only the soothing scent of cedar. On the night of her mother's death, a hand covers her eyes, replacing the smell of blood with the same cedar scent. Finally, while she is drowning, a hand grabs her wrist and pulls her to safety. In the dream, she is certain the person is Tan Fong at age 18, and she opens her eyes to see him kneeling beside her. She weakly takes his finger and calls out, "Onoi, brother/him." Tan Fong, who was secretly kissing her in his sleep, freezes upon hearing the tearful whisper, "Onoi." He is consumed by jealousy, wondering who she is hiding in her heart. He spends the rest of the night sleepless, analyzing everyone in her life. He recalls a male friend who brought her snacks 2 years ago, wondering if that person, or perhaps Yang Man, the helper's son who she was close to and who is now abroad, is the Onoi she is calling for. He begins to suspect that her recurring talk of future divorce is due to this hidden love. Early the next morning, Tan Fong, physically and emotionally drained, speaks with her cousin, Ji Xinglang, who confirms that Kwang Min's circle of male acquaintances is minimal, but mentions Yang Meng as someone she had a good brother-sister relationship with before he went overseas. Tan Fong returns to the bedroom. Kwang Min, now awake, is blissfully dwelling on her dream, calling it a beautiful dream. This confirmation, coupled with the Onoi whisper, solidifies Tan Fong's sour mood. When she closes her eyes, expecting their usual morning kiss and I love you declaration, part of their relationship-building routine, Tan Fong, driven by his jealousy, bypasses the kiss and only whispers the necessary I love you in her ear before sitting up. He thinks, no matter who you hide in your heart, I will make you love only me. Kwang Min is confused by the missing kiss. She goes to the bathroom and texts her friend Min Tin, asking why Tan Fong would suddenly stop an established routine. She wonders if he simply forgot and if she should remind him. Before Min can respond with a long message detailing Tan Fong's manipulative strategy, forcing her to miss the affection, Tan Fong suddenly re-enters the room. He pulls her close, gently kisses her lips, and apologizes, I'm sorry, I forgot my morning kiss. I love you, my wife. Kwang Min, satisfied, then reminds him that he apologized, which means she owes him a kiss as per their rule. She gives him a quick peck, and Tan Fong, his mood instantly lifted by her natural response, leads her downstairs for breakfast. Kwang Min then sends a final text to Min he just forgot. He made it up to me. Min deletes her long explanation, accepting that her naive friend will believe whatever Tan Fong tells her. Kwang Min and Tan Fong completed their final wedding photo shoot at his extravagant mansion. The settings included a classic oil painting style shot with Tan Fong seated on a royal chair, and a majestic shot on the spiral staircase. During the session, Tan Fong unexpectedly kissed the back of Kwang Min's hand, a moment captured only by the videographer. During a break, Tan Fong gave Kwang Min a tour of the mansion. She acknowledged that the house felt like a princess's castle but confessed she still preferred the simpler feel of their own home. Tan Fong jokingly asked if she'd ever explored their actual house, specifically mentioning the third-floor terrace. Kwang Min admitted her lack of curiosity, realizing she had only ever seen the house as a place to sleep. She resolved to explore the third floor later, though she was too tired that night and completely forgot. The next morning, Monday, Kwang Min, for the first time, chose to wear an outfit, shoes, and jewelry that Tan Fong had personally selected for her. She returned to school to work on her graduation project and discuss opening an independent jewelry store with Chang Shi. That evening, Tan Fong informed her he would be leaving for a 4 to 5 day business trip to Nam Tan. He meticulously made arrangements for her, transportation with the chauffeur, permission to stay home, and even the suggestion to stay at her family's house if she wished. Most notably, he reminded her about her upcoming menstrual cycle, the location of her pain medication, and when she should expect it. Kwang Min was deeply touched that he remembered such a personal detail, feeling genuinely cared for. As Tan Fong packed his luggage, he playfully asked Kwang Min to help him choose clothes and ties. While helping, she was pulled into his lap inside the suitcase and teased, "Wife, should I just pack you up and take you with me?" She immediately refused, citing her projects. When he asked if she would go if she weren't busy, she paused, and then softly replied, "If you need me to." Overjoyed by her tentative offer, Tan Fong impulsively kissed her, causing her to blush and flee the room. Early Tuesday morning, Tan Fong kissed a half-awake Kwang Min goodbye. He softly kissed her lips and then her small mole on her nose, whispering, "I love you, my wife. Be good and wait for me to come home." Kwang Min shyly agreed. Throughout the day, they exchanged text messages. That evening, they had a long video call until Kwang Min grew sleepy. However, after hanging up, Kwang Min couldn't sleep. She realized she missed having something to hug. She retrieved the stuffed rabbit that Tan Fong had banished to the closet, but even hugging the rabbit didn't help. 2 hours later, she gave up on sleeping and started watching the movie Zootopia. Meanwhile, in Nam Tan, Tan Fong was also restless. He cautiously texted her, "Wife, I dreamed of you." Surprised she was still awake, he learned she was suffering from insomnia. Pleased that her inability to sleep might be related to his absence, he took responsibility for her insomnia. After finding out she was watching a movie, he asked, "Would you be willing to video call me now?" Kwang Min didn't answer with words, she simply called him directly.